Do you agree with feminism online in China? Are you satisfied with the cultural approval institution which puts bans or censorships on cultural products that you are fond of? What about the current labor relationship in China, at such a time when 8-hour work time is usually misunderstood and abandoned? I'm now asking you the individual, the online user who is at the same time creator and audience. If you would like to post your answers in public, then it becomes a piece of what I call social opinion, which is exactly what my research question will be about. My research question aims to argue the association between online video, a new kind of media, and social opinions. It asks how online video is the scope of social opinions. For specific examples, it could simply be social critique video like this, made by individual user, about illegal deforestation in West North China, or a more obscure video like this, with its essence being introducing immigration to North Europe, but actually criticizing living standards and economical injustice in China. It could be Damu featuring strong feeling and humiliation, just like how the red ones appeal us to Han the capitalist. Or it could be in the comment of some video, like this one, which is quoting from Communism Manifesto, Unite Workers of the World. It is not hard to see social opinions in the field of online video. Here's something additional. I am happy to tell you that Jo will be elaborating her ideas in this video. She's a freshman in Chinese Academy of Social Science, majoring in political science. I had an interview with her about this research question weeks earlier. Section 1. Humor under pressure. Through the aspect of online video, I will argue that the way people express their social opinions differs, and I think humor here could be a worthy subject. According to Jan et al., psychologists in Taiwan, they concluded from previous studies that humor is usually associated with assault and competition. In my interpretation of this, I tell that people are capable of realizing that they win certain competitions, such as that one may hold the idea that his knowledge about social reality is greater than those who hold outrageous and false social opinions. Thus, they assault their components. And here, they will use humor as weapon or tool. How could this be connected with the title of this session? I guess I will show you more about what it is when I interpret the word pressure. The main pressure that online users in China is facing is the environmental tendency of leftism, which, in my opinion, could be divided into two parts. One is objective pressure. As I said, there is indeed censorship in online video websites, cultural products, no matter local or imported, and forums. Sensitive comments on social issue or political metaphor face the danger of censorship or deleting, such as how the Winnie the Pooh, and frogs are censored because they are usually referred to as the current and present chairman of China. The other one is autonomous pressure. Chinese are, say, usually taught about collectivism, nationalism, and general will. To a certain extent, there have been a default for mainstream ideas, patriotic, harmonious, and coerced. This is not only written in the textbooks, but in online video platforms like Bilibili as well, such as this official account of Guancha Zhewang, a famous media producer known for its enormous advertising on nationalism. When we go through the comment of online video or other Chinese social media, we can see the strong tendency of autonomous pressure. Social critiques which are inconsistent with mainstream ideas here are regarded as aggressive and toxic. Thus, some of the Chinese terms are demonized in this way. 戾气 meaning hostility, and 阴阳怪气 meaning talking obscurely when criticizing someone. Such two kinds of pressure leave people no other way but humor. Firstly, in order to elude censorship of deleting, users cannot choose but use obscure riddles or metaphors to express themselves on sensitive subjects. Secondly, In order to fight against the boring and arbitrary mainstream ideas, humor is now applied as, what Zhang in Taiwan would agree, the instrument of assault and competition. I will go specific on these two one by one. First of all, let me here introduce you the famous and almighty Kamipolls. In Chinese, it is Shenyou. It was named after a forum meaning dear friends in the forum, and is used to describe people with similar social opinions with the partners of the forum. They are opposed to mainstream ideas like nationalism, patriotism, and collectivism. They are people complaining continuously about social realities in China and are experts on telling metaphors, riddles, and jokes featuring intense humiliation. The emoji shown on screen now is the most popular emoji used by Kamipolls. I don't know what your previous impression on this emoji is, but when we surf an online video platform in China like Bilibili, this emoji implies embarrassment, mocking, and hostility. I will introduce to you now the most famous joke originating in the game of Academy Polls. It is about North Europe, which I made a video about weeks earlier. In their jokes, they promote suicide so that they may reborn as a citizen in North Europe, enjoying free education, medical treatment, and high living conditions. Check out those emojis that I introduced you under the comments of videos advertising immigration to North Europe. You may understand this joke in the sense of self-deprecating that they are unavoidably passionate or envious of better living conditions in other places of the world. But if you like to take it more seriously, you may find that as an assault to the discrepancy between proud from collectivism and individual living condition in China. According to the objective pressure, we can understand how symbolized emojis and pronouns are necessary because of the censorship. One may not make video showing how laborship in China is to some extent distorted. Rather, one can make a video showing the aurora is, say, in Finland, along with some riddles and jokes, and infuriate or entertain those who know what the video means. And according to the autonomous pressure, this is where the term competition and assault shall be applied, because the tangible component of competition and assault are those devoted to mainstream ideas, sitting in the other side of the screen. They are given symbolized pronouns as well. They are rabbits. The name comes from this animation in which nationalism and patriotism are intensely advertised, in which rabbits are its main character. The serious characterization of rabbits will be those who are fanatic about their identity as one individual in the whole of this nation in this race. Remember the sports session of China Central Television once banned NBA due to the fact that one player insulted China and somehow unbanned it weeks after? In this case, Camapos will tell a joke that you should watch more videos on 观察者 Wang, say videos about how Chinese diplomats appear high-spirited, or about how people infected with COVID has increased in US, so that you can find your balance of still being proud of your mainstream opinion. And this is the very place rabbits are assaulted and play the role of loser in the term of competition. Section 2. The Echo House. As I interpreted something about mainstream ideas in the last section, I think there are some great opinions from Joe that are closely related to this section, which I will show you here.
Is that do you think there's a kind of conflict between mainstream media on Bilibili maybe, such as the account of 观察者网 or some media like that, and the minority and the minorities that are against mainstream media? Do you think have you ever observed phenomenon according to this minorities standing up against the mainstream medias?
Hmm. Uh, mm, uh, yes, maybe. I do like to see the minority against the mainstream. But in Bilibili, in many platforms, they got the method can make you to see the content you have always seen. So then you maybe don't realize you maybe don't realize you are in a zone where many people's opinions are like to are are alike.
I get it.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Just keep her replies in mind and we'll come back to them later. The echo house here is a term from Han in his book The Expulsion of Other. I will here introduce a little bit how otherness is interpreted philosophically, since Han is a philosopher. Otherness could be understood as criticism, refusal of a dream love, or the humid weather currently in Shanghai that I am suffering from. Sameness is the repetition of pre-existed thoughts, psychological defaults, or the memories that haunt you. According to Han, the pain of otherness can be understood as diseases brought up by bacteria, viruses, or parasites, while that of sameness as diseases brought up by cancer cells, which comes exactly from one's own body and is tirelessly generating same copies. The first case of external factors that cause the illnesses are likely to be cured by medicine or operation, while the overwhelming of sameness could hardly be cured accurately. You may say that we, crowned with the user of internet, now encounter the whole universe of different information. Cultural product like music, painting, video arts, or knowledgeable opinions around the world. Couldn't this be called a nourish of otherness? According to Joe, it is a recommendation algorithm that keeps showing us same opinions that we have already recognized and adapted before. This is what an echo house is. A house full of seemingly various sounds which are actually the echoes of our own voice. The algorithm does not care about whether it is your preferred theme of video, such as tags like video game or celebrities, or it is the ideology that you believe in, say whether you are a rabbit or a cannibal. What it cares about is your sadistic behavior that it could make money from. It keeps recommending you with similar stuff so long as you keep addicted to this online video website. Well, I don't mind being recommended only the type of game or video that I am familiar with, but what if my mindset of critical thinking about social or political issues are at the same time modified? Like what Joe said, she can't tell whether some idea is mainstream or not. The only thing that she's sure is that she's familiar to the idea. In this sense, I can tell that few rabbits turn, say, fortunately, into cannibal, and vice versa. And on the other hand, diversity is violated in this echo house. Let us now listen to how Joe think of the significance of diversity.
And
Yes, sure. And there are some video makers, I mean, who may not really agree with feminism, right?
yeah,
Instead of making a video with serious argument or serious critique on the current trend of feminism, they make videos joking about feminism. They make memes. They make, I mean, sarcastic video clips to joke feminism. Do you think that this is normal, or this should be, I mean, such phenomenon should be decreased? Do you think?
mm, I think I think there is a word in Chinese, 中庸. 中庸. Yes, we should we should obey the political correctness, but at the same time, we should always think about, is this political correctness is correct? I think the correct political correctness, the aim is kind, but sometimes it will be changed. So these kind of clips, I think there is a point in the existence of this kind of video clips, because we should not always have the same opinion. We can argue with the people who hold the same opinion with us. So the different opinion can make us think deeper, can make us think to think a better way to balance the people who are despised and the people who are despising the people's benefit. Yes, I think it's a way to make us think better, I think. So I don't think we should make harsh to take a harsh action to the video clips you mentioned.
According to Jo, she thought that diversity could enhance the critical thinking for everyone. And about the political correctness that she referred to, I think that by this term she presumed that opinions shall be politically corrected by some other one, by otherness, but not sameness. That is why I think the term in her answer is worth quoting in this section. Section 3. How do we win? Spoiler alert, winning could be easy, just like how this boy Ding Zhen did. He used to be a common nomad boy in Tibet, but depending on his, say, attractiveness and, as is mentioned by people the most frequently, his appearance of naivety, he somehow gained countless fans and recognition overnight. No need to tell how much capital, commerce, and entertainment is involved in this process. What is more, as he somehow improved the impression of his hometown, he was given a job in the public-owned enterprise. In this country where collectivism is written in the constitution, where public enterprise is the most stable and condition-demanding place where you acquire a job. There are something worth mentioning here. He do not need to be like high school students who in Han Shui Middle School who wake up at 5 and go to sleep at 12 every day except for the twice a month day off. He do not need to take pride in being in a late shift voluntarily, as this video made by official propaganda institution in Shenzhen indicates in its first sentence. You always voluntarily do late shift. He do not need to take pride in his employer violating the 8-hour work time, aka the labor law in this process. When people asked whether he enjoyed the books sent by his fans to him, he said, "You do not even need to know Mandarin." Well, I think that you could possibly call the money, the fame, and the job in the public-owned enterprise as winning. And I think according to the comparison of what Ding Zhen does not need to do, you could possibly call the process as easy, so winning is easy. Oh, however, looks like our poor camels are getting upset about this young man. I personally have already think of how we can easily fight back to them. There are countless people that you don't know who are making a fortune out of nowhere, say lottery or Bitcoin, at this very second. Like what you really said, there are people enjoying free education, free medical treatment right after they are born. You are just being envious. Shame on you, chemicals. Look at those filthy thing you have done, joking on how Ding Zhen vape and once made middle finger over his supposed naivety character. These are all you can do. Winning is not easy. Define not easy? To be not easy here means to be impossible. Have you ever heard of the myth of Sisyphus by Albert Camus? The mortal Sisyphus in ancient Greek myths devoted his life to the pursuit of happiness and the hatred of death. He infuriated gods when escaping from hell after his death, and then Sisyphus was forced to do a meaningless job for all eternity, pushing a piece of rock to the top of the mountain and watch it rolling down and start again. For Sisyphus, winning is not easy. Winning is impossible. As for me, I do not win when I spend countless sleepless nights preparing for Gaokao when I was 17. ending up with 20 or so points lower than the girl, the art student who spent 10 months away from the classroom preparing for art exam. I do not win when I spend the rest of the sleepless nights thinking about that girl, hoping desperately that she'll come back soon, ending up with her becoming another stranger in my life. No winning when we see the online videos showing mortifying injustice in this country, in this world. When we see how a piano teacher got her finger bumped by her boss because of wage conflict. When we see how workers observe elites playing golf in the other side of the wall. When we see the black humor of Campos passionate for North Europe. When we see the Damu in red calling unite workers of the world. What do these social opinions do besides pushing the ball of rock toward the top of the mountain of Sisyphus? Absurd, in the word of Camus. Nothing to be done, in the word of Beckett. Spoke of by the characters waiting for the never-coming Godot. But when we put aside winning and not winning, Camus wrote that Sisyphus is a hero. That hour when Sisyphus had experienced infinite times watching the rock fall down, that hour like a breathing space which returns as surely as his suffering, that is the hour of consciousness. Being conscious, what makes Sisyphus a hero and his torture tragic is being conscious. I believe and I indeed see those who are conscious of that what Campbell and other people hate is not that illiterate nomad who read without sowing, but the amplifier behind all this, the entertainment capital that crowned him with fame and popularity and profit from it, the high-pressure institution, the imprisoning system for proletarians in classrooms, factories, and offices, the propaganda manipulation that used the rise of Ding Zhen to cover the scandal of one bureaucrat's suicide. I think we should wrap up now, and I think let us care about winning and not winning no more. The hope lies in our being conscious of the Sisyphus situation that we are now in. To be adventurous, this results in step 2, step 3. To be modest, this is step 1. It could be being conscious of the pressure behind humor. That is, being conscious of that direct video or comments on sensitive subjects will be deleted rather than people enjoy expressing themselves in obscure and black humor ways. It could be being conscious of the existence of the echo room, the repetition video teaching us idea that we have already been fanatic about. Being conscious of that social opinions we see are often manipulated. Being conscious that being conscious of all this precedes telling from winning and losing. Now that you may have opinions capable of being posted and suitable for becoming social opinions in online video, I shall ask you, the individual, the creator and the audience, the Sisyphus and at the same time the revolutionist, are you conscious of all this?